Hi, in this video, I'm going to be sharing 7 things men notice and appreciate about an older woman that she's trying to hide. A 54-year-old client of mine, brilliant, gorgeous, and back out dating after a long marriage, said something that stopped me cold. She said, "Matt, I feel like I showed up to the party 20 years late with nothing but baggage and a body that's seen some things." And ladies, I laughed. Not at her, never at her. I laughed because of what the men across from her on dates were almost certainly thinking in that moment. The flat out opposite of everything she was hiding. So today I want to share with you 7 things men genuinely notice and appreciate about an older woman. The things that she covers up with both hands that are quietly doing all the heavy lifting for her in her love life. I'm Matt Shaffer, and I've spent 10 years helping women around the world understand what's really going on inside the male mind and the male heart. If you're new here, hit that little subscribe button, and you're definitely going to want to click the link down in the pinned comment and up at the top of this video and take my How He Experiences You in Bed quiz. It is absolutely free, just takes a few minutes, and it makes a huge difference in understanding how men are truly experiencing you during intimacy. Now, without further ado, let's dive into the video. And the first thing he notices is that her story reads as depth. Here's what she calls it: baggage. But here's what he calls it: oh, thank God, finally, somebody interesting. When a man sits across from a woman who has actually lived, right? Loved for real, lost for real, rebuilt herself for real, he feels it within 10 minutes. There's a weight to her. And I don't mean like heaviness. I mean that you're actually inhabiting a personality that she's earned, right? Not one that she picked up from a podcast or a self-help book. And here's why this matters to him. Men are quietly starving for depth in dating. Trust me. He can find pretty anywhere, open any magazine, whatever. But what he can't find is a woman whose eyes say, "I've been through some weather and I'm still standing." That does something to his chest that he'll never have words for. It makes him want to know the whole story, chapter by chapter. So my takeaway for you here, ladies, is stop editing your history down to the little brochure version. You don't have to lead with the hard chapters, but stop apologizing for having them. The very story that you're trying to shrink is the exact thing that's making him lean in across that table. And the second thing a man notices and appreciates about an older woman is that she's done auditioning. Because you want to know what a man actually notices in the first 90 seconds with an older woman? It's what's missing, right? The audition is missing. There's no performance, no little glance at his face after every second to check how she scored. She's walking in like she's arriving somewhere, not applying for something. And ladies, I have to be honest, you cannot buy this at authority. Trust me, the beauty industry has spent billions trying to bottle it, and they can't because it doesn't come in a bottle. In your 20s, confidence is a costume, right? You put it on and pray nobody checks the tag. But at this stage, it's stopped being a costume. Your confidence is your body temperature now. And a man's nervous system reads temperature fast. The second a woman isn't auditioning, he stops evaluating her and starts experiencing her. And that's the whole game. And why this matters to him is that this poor guy has spent his entire life being measured at work, at the gym, in traffic, and maybe in past relationships too. But a woman who isn't measuring herself gives him permission to stop too. And that's not just attraction he's feeling, it's relief. And relief is one of the biggest things men fall in love with and never mention. My takeaway is the next time you catch yourself performing, just stop. Mid-sentence if you have to. Whatever's left standing there when the audition ends, that's the woman he actually came for. And the third thing he notices is the laugh lines. And this one's personal, so let me tell on myself. My wife, Ashley, laughs with her whole face. Always has. And I'll be honest, most of the time, she is not laughing with me. She is laughing at me because I am apparently an extremely entertaining man to be married to. Not on purpose some of the time, but that's the part that gets her. But here's what I know as a man. A face that showed decades of laughing isn't aging. It's been working. It's been living. Those lines you interrogate under forensic lighting at 6 in the morning, He doesn't see damage. He reads them like a map of every room you've ever walked into and lit up. They tell him this woman knows joy. And why does that land so deep? Because a man isn't choosing a face, ladies. He's choosing a future atmosphere. Underneath everything, he's asking one question: is this a woman I could still be laughing with 30 years from now? And your face, lines and all, is already answering before you open your mouth. So let it. So my takeaway is, put the forensic lighting down. Step away from the magnifying mirror. The evidence you keep trying to erase every morning isn't the crime, ladies. It's the resume. It's what makes a man fall for you. And the fourth thing he notices and appreciates about an older woman is how she inhabits her body. And now we've got to talk about the sentence I hear more than any other on my calls: Matt, my body ain't what it used to be. Ladies, neither is his. Heck, neither is mine. Have you seen a 40-something guy get out of a car on a cold morning? It is a whole event. I have to warm myself up to get out of bed, right? Nobody's body is what it used to be. That's not the category men are grading in as they mature. And here's what a man notices, and it's not the geometry. It's the occupancy, right? Whether you are actually living in your body or just renting it out and filing complaints with the landlord every time you pass a mirror. Do you own your body? Are you proud of who you are and what you look like? Because a woman who's made peace with her body moves differently. Unhurried, right? She takes a hand on her shoulder without flinching. She takes up her space at the table like she reserved it. There's a slowness to her that isn't tired. It's deliberate, like a jazz musician, right? Who finally knows that she doesn't have to play every note to own the room. And why this matters to him is that presence is the most sensual thing a man ever experiences from a woman. A woman fully in her body, broadcasts on a frequency he picks up instantly. And no 26-year-old yoga girl doing squats can fake it, right? Because it was never made in a gym. It's made by acceptance. And my takeaway for you here is the upgrade he's actually hoping for was never your body changing. It's just you moving fully back in, turning the lights on, and living there again, confidently and with deep presence. And point 5 is she knows what she likes. And this is one of those ones that might make you blush. So buckle up, ladies, and take a sip of your coffee. An older woman knows what she likes. She knows how she likes her coffee. She knows what she'll allow on her calendar and what she absolutely won't. She knows what she wants out of a conversation, and she knows what she wants in bed. And here's the part that undoes a man. She'll actually say it out loud. Because let me let you in on a secret from inside the male mind. Men spend literal years trying to decode a woman who answers every question with, I don't know, whatever you want. And then a woman looks him dead in the eye, calm, warm, not an ounce of apology, and just tells him plainly what she wants. Ladies, that is not demanding. In this man's lived experience, that is rarer than a total solar eclipse and roughly as memorable. And why this matters to him is that clarity is generosity. So when you tell a man what you like, you're not being high maintenance, you're not being too much, you're actually handing him a map to succeeding with you, a blueprint to make you happy that men are craving for, right? All we want is to succeed with the woman that we're falling for. And by you being direct, you just removed all the guesswork that exhausts us everywhere else in our lives. So my takeaway for you here is your preferences are not a burden you're inflicting on some poor man. They're a gift with his name on it. So wrap him up and hand him over. And the sixth thing he notices about an older woman is that she's got her own shape. And here's one you've genuinely never heard, and honestly, it's my favorite on the list. A man notices fast that an older woman has edges, right? She has a shape of her own. She has opinions with load-bearing walls. She is, in fact, fully formed. And somewhere back down the line, someone probably told you that that was a problem, that you were too much, too formed, too opinionated, too set in your ways. Well, my dear, I would like to file a formal objection.
I object, Your Honor!
And as a former attorney, I happen to know exactly how to do that. Because here's what men are actually experiencing out there. A whole lot of shape-shifting. Women rearranging all their furniture, opinions, schedules, entire personality, every time a different man walks through the room. And hear this, ladies, it does not flatter him. It exhausts him. He can never relax around a woman like that, because if she'll bend into anything just to please him, he never knows what he's actually holding. But a woman who won't rearrange herself for anybody, he can lean his full weight against her and she's still there. That's not friction, that's structure. And that spark everyone's chasing, that polarity, it needs two defined shapes to exist. You can't dance with fog. So my takeaway for you here is keep your edges. Every single one. Know your likes, your dislikes, your must-haves, your deal breakers. The right man isn't looking to renovate you down to the studs. He's looking to find you. And finding somebody requires that they hold still long enough to be found. So please, stay you. Now it's time for the seventh and most powerful thing that a man notices and appreciates about an older woman is she feels like home. And this is the one that might get you, because the deepest thing a man notices about an older woman is the feeling he usually can't even name while it's happening. It sneaks up on him in some totally ordinary second, right? She's telling a story, handing him his coffee, laughing across the room, and it lands in his chest like a key turning. Oh my gosh, this woman has become my home. And I still remember that perfect little moment, that feeling ambushed me with my wife, Ashley. We were sitting together at church and I felt her grab my hand. And in that moment, I realized that I had everything I ever wanted. And it didn't happen in some huge thunderclap, right? It was as she just grabbed my hand as we sat in church together. It felt truly sacred. And ladies, here's why I need you to hear this, because so many of you have quietly, privately decided that it's just too late for you, that your window has closed. So let me tell you what's true from inside the male heart. Home is not a young woman's feature. It's almost exclusively an older woman's feature, because home is built out of every single thing on this list. The depth, the being done auditioning, the laugh lines, the edges, the ownership. A man simply cannot feel home with a woman who hasn't fully become anyone yet. There's nothing to come home to. So long story short, ladies, you are not late. You are finally ready to be found. So let's look at this whole list one more time, right? Every single thing you've been standing at the mirror trying to hide is on it. And that's not a coincidence. The very years you've been treating as evidence against you are the exact things that a man can't find anywhere else. You were never showing up to the party 20 years late. You were showing up finished, right? And there's a man out there who has been waiting his whole life for exactly that. If that last one hit you somewhere real, if some part of you knows you were built for that type of love, but the woman in the mirror keeps talking you out of it, I made you something. It's a free 2-minute quiz that reveals exactly how the man in your life experiences you. And it shows women things about their own patterns that honestly catch most of them off guard. The link's down in the pinned comment and up at the top of this video. Go take it right after this. It's a little scary how accurate it is. So be sure to hit that little subscribe button and click that bell, and tell me down in the comments which of these 7 surprised you the most. I'm especially curious about how many of y'all felt number 6 all the way down in your bones. Be sure to stay tuned to this next video where I'm going to be sharing 10 things men love about your body that you hate. It's really going to help you, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye-bye. Now, the first thing men love about your body that you're probably a little insecure about is your stomach, right? I know you wish it was flatter, you suck it in when he's around, you avoid certain positions because you're self-conscious about